All right, hello. It's Sean Brady here with another fantastic episode of Medici Marketplace. And today, I have with me the fabulous Matt Ryan of Worry-Free Marketing. Matt, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fabulous. You know, you can also look into the camera. Not for the camera on the podcast, but the camera because you're streaming this live on Facebook.
I forced you to do this as a Facebook Live at the same time. I wanted to do that. Yeah.
So, talk about impromptu.
Yeah.
So welcome to the studio of my Swagger Wagon.
Is that what we call this?
That's what they called it. I'm just bouncing it back.
Swagger Wagon.
I didn't come up with that Toyota name. They did.
All right.
But somebody did. And it's a great place to record because we get a pretty good ambience.
Pretty good acoustics, I think.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
Acoustically speaking, we're pretty well
off. It's tight. It's pretty quiet compared to out there. Yeah.
But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Medici Marketplace, more specifically your role inside of what Worry-Free Marketing does,
right,
and your expertise.
Sure.
So why don't you give the audience a quick Snapchat of what's happening with
Snapchat? You have like a filter on with the beard?
See, I love that. That's why it's live and impromptu.
A snapshot. Okay, a snapshot of what?
A snapshot of what Worry-Free Marketing does.
Okay. And
a quick snapshot of that. I'll be quiet now.
Sure. Okay, so Worry-Free Marketing helps our clients, most of which are small businesses. So, you know, up to 500 employees is a small business.
Right.
We help them succeed online in the digital market space. So we define that as turning their online efforts, their digital marketing, into a profitable source of revenue and leads for them. So they know that they're putting money in and they're getting clients and customers out. They're able to share their gifts. They're able to share their services and their products with a wider audience and do so in a profitable way. You know, some of these businesses, 20 years ago, it was all Yellow Pages.
Right. And
they would run an ad and they would know, if I put Yellow Pages out, I'm in business. If I put up a billboard, I'm in business. Those days are gone. And it's far more complicated now. So we help them take traditional marketing strategies and apply them digitally in that way. And that's Worry-Free Marketing. We do that, I guess I should say, through website development, digital advertising management, Google advertising, Facebook advertising, LinkedIn. Having a really strong website is very important that can convert people. Yeah.
And, you know, one thing I always like to ask people is...
Hi, Helen. Sorry, go ahead. Facebook Live, someone said hi to me. I had to cut you off and say hi to Helen.
That's okay. Hi, Helen. Yeah. Good to see you.
Share the video, Helen.
Remember, if you're on Facebook Live right now, put a little text out there because we don't know who else is watching.
Yeah, I don't know who's watching unless if you hit like. If you say, I'll say hi, I'll give you that shout out. You let me know that you're watching, I'll give you a shout out.
So for our podcast listeners, is that probably a nice little tip?
Absolutely, yeah. If you're recording a Facebook Live video, so first of all, why Facebook Live versus just recording a regular video?
Right.
Facebook Live is scary. Like, I might say something really dumb. I'm definitely going to say something really dumb if I haven't already. But when you go
Snapchat instead of share?
No, that was you. No, but when you go live, Facebook tells everybody you're live and gives them an alert because they want people to start tuning in. When you just post a video on Facebook, Facebook doesn't do that. So if you want to get a larger audience, go live instead of just posting a video. That's my tip on why Facebook Live. And then ask for comments, ask for likes, ask for shares as you're recording. Like, I see that there's people watching. One person has done a comment. Go ahead and comment so I know who you are. I can give you a shout out. There might be someone who has a question. It's like, ask that, comment, then I know you're there and I know who we're speaking to and I can be more specific. So
because this is more interactive.
Yeah.
And unlike television or watching a movie or something like that, we can actually respond live.
And that's what makes
what's cool.
I'll tell you that, and I'm totally stealing this from Gary Vaynerchuk, so I'm going to say it and no one can call me out on not having given him the credit. But this mobile device is to TV what TV was to radio.
Right.
And that's a big reason why, what you just said there.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So back to the podcast.
Yeah.
3 things that you wish more people did inside your space. Maybe it just annoys the heck out of you, but what are a couple 3 things that people could do today that would really help impact their business, especially around all this digital web of information.
Right.
That sometimes I can't manage it all. It's one reason I got out of technology sales. It was constantly changing.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not a technical guy.
It's evolving all the time.
I cannot keep up with that.
Right.
So I had to pare down and figure out a niche that I could really play within versus the big vastness of it all because it's overwhelming.
Right. And so is it okay if I also answer this question as like something I wish people knew?
Yes,
or things
absolutely.
I want them to know, or things I want them to do, or things I want them to think with, like that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I would say something I want people to know is that Google cannot see or hear video, cannot see pictures, and cannot hear sound. Google can only read words. And there's this like myth, and a lot of designers push it right now, unfortunately, even designers who create very beautiful things. Google doesn't care about beauty. Google can't see beauty. If your website doesn't clearly communicate who you are, what you do, how you help, the details behind that, if it doesn't communicate that, no one is ever going to arrive at your pretty website. If you strip all that down and you say, well, no one really reads anymore, I'll just put up something really pretty. Google can't see it. They cannot see. The machine that runs Google can't see how pretty your website is. Yes, have a pretty website. That's a great idea. It should be gorgeous. It should be such a great representation of who you are as a business, who you are as a brand. It should talk about your culture, and it should absolutely do that. And it should provide a ton of value to Google, so Google can then in turn bring you visitors, so you can then, sell your products and services. So that's a really big one, is that content, the content that's on the website, and content is really important.
And realize that audio and video isn't being necessarily distributed by Google.
Well, so Google owns YouTube,
right?
And so video is still very important, right? So if you record video on YouTube, and even if you embed that,
right,
Google will give you some love for that.
Cool.
But Google can't actually hear what's in the video. So you'd want to get that video transcribed as well, post it as a blog on your website. So now someone goes to search and they can find your video. Or if you're going to put it on YouTube, you put the transcript in there, you tag the video properly, because no matter what, Google is going to rely upon the data you put in. It's a computer, so the text-based data you put in to get that video to surface. Video absolutely can help, and it's powerful. And the number 2 search engine in the world is YouTube.
Right.
It goes Google, YouTube, Facebook. In terms of what people are using, those are the big 3. So I'm not discounting the importance of video.
Right.
I'm more emphasizing the importance of written content in addition to that video that you want to do on your website, in addition to the designs and that kind of stuff that you do. So that's kind of the first thing. God, I have to think of 2 others, don't I?
I think there's a lot of things inside of that, but think of 2 more.
That one was so meaty. And for anyone who's just tuning in, we're recording the Sean Brady Show. It's a podcast, and I asked him if I could do Facebook Live.
So we're Facebooking Live.
Yeah, so we're doing both Facebook Live, and we're actually recording a podcast right now. This is not a karaoke show. I'm sorry. I know that with the van here, it kind of looks like we're about to do carpool karaoke. Hashtag carpool karaoke, but no, we're not. That's how you do a hashtag, by the way. You go like that.
Hashtag.
Okay, so a couple other things. Okay, here's a good one. So you can't solve a traffic problem, like traffic to your website, by trying to apply tactics that would solve a conversion problem. And a conversion means like someone fills out a contact form, someone buys something, someone calls you for services. And you can't solve a conversion problem by trying to do traffic, right? So what you do is you actually say, okay, is my website converting anyone? And if it is, let's put more traffic into it.
Right.
And so you say, yeah, I just don't have enough traffic, but when I do get traffic, they buy or they call me or whatever. So then apply traffic strategies. Or, well, I'm getting traffic, but they aren't buying. Okay. Or they're not calling me, or they're not filling out the form. Well, in that case, go and start tweaking the website itself. You're getting traffic, it's not converting, so focus on tweaking the website.
Right.
Once you have those 2 things going, ideally, you're able to add different channels like Google Ads, Facebook ads, social media, things like this that can then bring more people in. And that one's really important. And then I'd say the last thing that I wish people knew, because you wanted 3 things, or that people can do. I see people who are there has to be a balance between focus, like what you're focused on, and being open to receiving and willing to pursue opportunity that isn't necessarily so obvious.
Say more about that.
Yeah, so I'll give you an example. So I have a buddy, and this buddy was in the tire business.
Okay.
And he was responsible for promotion and marketing for 30 tire locations throughout the St. Louis area.
Okay.
For a long time, he was our number 1 source of referrals. How does a guy who sells tires, how does he become the number 1 source of referrals for like 2 years for websites and for digital advertising and things like this?
And what'd you figure out?
It's not so obvious, right?
No.
And yet I would never have turned that away. Now let's take focus. When I realized and really started going deep with some of our strategic partners, IT companies, printing companies, graphic designers, other marketers who don't necessarily offer the services we offered, I'm able to, or that they offer, I'm able to expand upon the people who are referring business to us.
Sure.
So had I only ever been focused on saying, okay, well, I only want to talk to people who fit within this bubble, then I never would have gotten, my buddy Jeff. And if I had only focused on just random people, I would have never, so you have to be willing to be open to meeting great people who you can help. And absolutely, I'm always looking for ways to help Jeff, right? But who you can help and who can then in turn also help you. But it's not always so obvious. Another one, I'll give you another example. I was talking to someone yesterday who's really big into oil and gas. And I have another CEO I know who's the CEO of a publicly traded company, and they're in mineral exploration. Mm-hmm. Now, I wanted to connect these two guys.
Right.
And the guy I know who's very successful, he is ultra focused on what he does. And he didn't feel that would be a good connection for him.
Okay.
I still do think it would be. Because this guy takes companies public, and this guy sells companies. And they're in different spaces, but this guy knows a lot. Like, I'm still thinking, and I'm like, man, how do I convince him to connect, even though there's not an opportunity today? That connection 5 years from now could be huge. Right. So I think that you can't turn away those opportunities to connect with people. It doesn't mean that you have coffee with every single person in the world, but it means you manage your schedule and don't be open to opportunities while also being focused.
So again, maintain your focus
while still being open to the non-obvious opportunities. And I could tell so many stories going back. I mean, I didn't meet my wife because I was like standing in a room full of single women looking for wives.
We have an alarm going off out there.
Yeah, I hear that. But if you think about how you met your spouse, chances are you were open to opportunity while being focused on something else. I guess nowadays
I can say it's true for me.
Yeah, some people now are dating, or
wife.
they're on Tinder. They're like really actively looking for something, whatever that is. Where they're on a more serious dating app where they really want long-term commitment. But you also have people who, a lot of the married people I know, maybe they're high school sweethearts, but they were focused on getting through high school, but they were open to that opportunity of that spouse. So I think that example actually applies in business and relationships. And so those three things, the website advice and the opportunity and whatever the third one was, I don't remember anymore.
Focus. Focus and stay open to opportunity.
Yeah.
I think that was a big one.
Okay.
Well, Matt DeRyan, the web guy.
Do you want to talk about the marketplace at all, though, or is that too long for your podcast now?
Well, you can talk about the marketplace. What had you choose marketplace? And we have another...
Yeah, like 10 seconds? Or
No, we got a solid 95 seconds.
Okay, fine. Well, it's just, one of the things you brought up is Medici Marketplace, and I'm realizing that we didn't touch upon it enough, and that, like, I know my audience here, they don't necessarily know what Medici Marketplace is. If you go to Medici is MEDICI, so it's MediciMarketplace.com, which is an organization that was formulated out of Medici Media Space, which is actually Worry-Free Marketing has office space there, and we have a lot of meetings there. They have broadcasting capabilities, podcasting capabilities, media creation capabilities. It's this really cool place. The marketplace enables companies like mine who, like, I don't do video.
And mine.
And Sean.
And I don't do digital marketing.
Right. So this kind of stuff, to know each other and have a collaborative approach to clients, and to be able to go after even bigger clients where the client needs a company that's going to be able to do a lot more, but in a leaner fashion. It's Medici Marketplace is really the unagency.
Yes.
And if you visit that, you'll check it out. And our goal is to contribute to Marketplace by finding ways where something we don't do could benefit a client of ours, and being able to pair them up with someone within the marketplace that can really help them without any threat of like loss of that client to us. Like, it's not threatening, it's collaborative. So that's what the marketplace is.
I would even underscore the collaborative part, because there's going to be all kinds of different people. I think right now, we identified about 30 different members.
Yeah, member companies.
Companies that would fit inside of this marketplace.
Right.
And now we can work together. And not only can we do.
Right, we do. Yeah, we already do projects together.
But I love what you said, which is very accurate. Now we can go after business larger than our little segment.
That's right. Yeah.
And we can expand for everybody.
Yeah.
And together we all make more. We all win more. The client's ultimately happier all the way down the road.
That's right. Yeah, more opportunity for existing clients and more opportunity for larger clients. And as a result, we're all able to win and prosper.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, Matt DeRyan, thank you for being on the Medici Marketplace show.
Thank you for having me.
Always great to talk with you.
Yeah, you too, man.
And great being on Facebook Live with you as well.
Hey, everyone.
All right, now you got 11 seconds. You
11
ready?
seconds after
Here we go.